What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Brainard. I recently completed my first Ironman 70.3. I thought I'd share some tips with you guys, especially if you're a beginner like myself, all the way through from the swimming, bike to run and everything in between. Let's get into it. The swim. This was definitely the discipline that I focused on the most and stressed about the most. And to be honest, it was all for nothing. The swim goes by so fast, and if you think about it, you spend the least amount of time in the sea than you do on the bike and on the run. I didn't do any open water swims. I actually did my first open water swim the day before the race, and it was just to test out the water, test out my wetsuit. So that's definitely something that I would not recommend. I think you should go out there, do a few open water swims, even if it's on a dam or in the sea. Go with mates, get used to the water. If you have a wetsuit like myself, it's very scarce that you would not swim with a wetsuit, but if you have one, you're buoyant naturally, so you're going to float either way. It's not something that you're going to stress about in the water, especially with the nerves and everything that's going with it. Once you're in the sea and you're actually swimming, you're not thinking about whether you're floating or tired or all of that. You just focus on your goal, on finishing the swim in a decent amount of time. So that's my first tip I would give. Definitely get out on the open water, test yourself, see if you can actually swim straight for a couple of 100 meters, because that's the thing that I didn't do. Every 20 meters I had to look up and then see, oh shit, this is not the right way to go. Even got to a point where a guy on a canoe said to me, listen, you're way far left, you have to go right. So swimming in the open water and actually aligning yourself, ensuring that you're swimming straight in a perfect line. Also looking up at a buoy while you're swimming is quite difficult. And the swimming pool at my home gym, it was epic. I just swam my laps, I did my meters, and then I got out of there. But realizing that you have to actually look up and see where you're going, and then swim around a buoy and then go straight for a kilometer or so, it's totally different. So I would suggest you actually train that. In terms of gear, you swim with the cap that they give you, which is quite epic. This year it was a pink cap, not my favorite color, but it is what it is. I got these goggles literally for a few bucks at my local store. It was a sports scene where they sell multiple of things, from goggles to headwear, running, all of that. So I didn't stress about too much spending on my goggles, as I know it's not that important. Yes, it needs to be good enough to stick on your face and maybe keep out the sun for a bit, but other than that, I didn't stress much about it. And then I had earplugs, which is, I feel, a must, because I'm very sensitive to my ears. So if any water comes into my ear, I get stressed out. So this helped me tremendously. But overall, the swim was really nice. It was relaxing. I followed my dad's advice, which he gave me before the race, which was start like a coward, finish like a hero. Because you don't want to burn yourself out. Since it's my first one, it's my first open water swim in reality, so I had to figure things out on the spot. I really eased into it. Like I mentioned, after 20 meters, 30 meters, I had to look up, see where I'm going, doggy paddled even, breaststroked, and then, carried on. But all in all, I felt the swim was great. Moving on to the bike. This was actually my uncle's bike. I didn't buy myself a road bike. I would recommend getting a road bike and not like a mountain bike or your normal at-home bike. It really helps. It's aerodynamic. This one is quite old and it's way too big for me. As you can see, I'm quite a short guy, and my uncle was really tall, so this is actually maybe 2 sizes too big for me, but it got the job done. I'm not complaining. This baby held itself all the way through. Got new tires for the bike, used my normal helmet for my mountain biking. As you can see, it's got the same number on it. And yes, I got myself these sunglasses as well. Really cheap sunglasses that I found actually at the same store where I got my goggles from. Didn't spend a lot of money on it. The bike is quite daunting. If you average about 3 hours, that's a good ride. Look, you're gonna have to spend the most amount of time on your bike. Since I did not, I did quite quite get me in the race. I'm a really good uphill rider on the hills. On the straights I struggled a bit, but this baby held itself. It was very hilly, very windy. It's something that you might have to take into account wherever you're racing around the world. In Mossel Bay it gets really, really hot and the wind is quite hectic. But all in all, I really enjoyed the bike. I suggest you get out there. Training indoors is something else than training outdoors. I found that training outdoors helped me tremendously. Training indoors at your gym, going through a watt bike session, yes, it's good, but anything over an hour I wouldn't say is worth it, because it's not the same. It's definitely not the same. But yeah, I used my dad's old clip-ons, his mountain bike clip-ons, which is still in phenomenal shape, and it worked like a bomb. There was a few guys in front of me that went through with their mountain bikes with normal shoes and they really struggled. I mean, this thing, you wouldn't think it makes such a big difference, but it does. Just the amount, the weight, how thin the wheels are, how aerodynamic you can get with them, the bars, everything helps you just to get through that ride. Yes, the 90k is quite far, but if you can just stuck through it and also focus on your strengths, ride according to your strengths. Like I mentioned, mine is hills, uphills, but straights not that much. I know for the next one I have to focus more on the straights than I do on the uphills. And yes, just ensuring that you have at least a decent amount of gear, proper shoes, a bike that's roadworthy and it's a road bike, some sunglasses, that's a must, especially if you're going fast downhill, ensuring nothing gets into your eye. And I actually used Enjoy's tri-suit, which worked epically. I mean, these guys were fortunate enough, it helped me in a week. Knowing myself, I should have planned better, but Enjoy's tri-suit, really, really comfortable. It fit me perfectly. Got it in a week's time of the Ironman, which I would not recommend. I even got my wetsuit as well. That's one thing I didn't mention. I didn't swim with a wetsuit at all before the race, so it was my first time. Same with the tri-suit, but I absolutely loved this one. I'm definitely going to get another one for my next Ironman. But yeah, that was the bike. Okay, and then lastly, the run. I decided to go with New Balance, the Rebels, the new Rebel New Balance. Really, really comfortable shoes, enjoyed them. I bought them a few months before the race and then I actually trained in them. So that's one thing that I do recommend. If you buy new shoes, don't be that guy that starts racing with them on race day or the day before. Run with them, see how they fit, see how they feel, get used to them. I did put a few kilometers on them beforehand. Really enjoyed them. And the run was quite good. I'm a strong runner. Well, for myself, I think I'm a strong runner. But in general, I think because it's the bike and the run that takes the longest, I would suggest focusing on your strengths on the bike and on the run. The first 2 laps out of the 21k race, I really felt good. That last lap, we did laps of 7k's. It really got to me, got the cramp going, running through my whole body, from the calves to the quads, even to my triceps, which is weird enough. I think it overlapped from the bike ride. But really enjoyed it, and overall I think it was a good experience. If you're a beginner like myself, throw yourself on the deep end, see where we can go, see where you can improve, but also enjoy it throughout the process, from the training to the actual race. Having my fiance with me, cheering me on, walking alongside me. She even made boards, which was crazy, but really enjoyed it. It was the first one. I think always it's the case when it's your first one, it just gets you more eager to jump into the second one and the third one. So the Durban one in June next year is definitely on my calendar. Want to go for that one, improve my time. I'm not going to tell you guys my time, but yeah, I finished the race. I really enjoyed it. I hope these things make sense. Myself, I just threw myself in the deep end and I learned these things on the day, on the spot, and now I know I took a mental note of a few things on the bike, on the run, on the swim that would help me in the future. Sunblock is a massive thing, trust me. I burnt myself so badly on my back and on my arms, even on my legs. I don't know if you guys can see, I burnt myself quite badly because it was a sleeveless tri-suit. The sun in Mossel Bay was just something else. Really enjoyed it, like I said, from the swim to the bike to the run, the atmosphere, the people. I think that also carries you through the race. That's definitely one part of it. At the end of the day, you get some cool gear as well. I got a cool cap, got myself a backpack as well. They have stations there where you can buy some apparel. But I really enjoyed it. I hope this helps. I hope this helps for anyone that starts. I know this is not in detail. This is me just rambling on about, taking mental notes of the day, how it went, what can I improve. Not much that I said about the run, but yeah, I just feel you have to pace yourself. If you run good paces through your training, just know that it's going to be a bit higher on race day and you're going to struggle because it's all three disciplines at once. I would also recommend doing a lot of brick workouts, so doing 2 disciplines or maybe 3 disciplines in one day and practicing those transitions, because that's very important. The swim to the bike, I didn't practice that much because I felt it wasn't that needed, but from the bike to the run, definitely practice that transition, see how our legs feel, go the distance, go a bit further than you're going to do on the day, and then do also a bit further on the run as well, from the bike to the run. Practice those things, and I could honestly say if you do that, you're going to be fine. And that was me. That was my first Ironman 70.3 in Mossel Bay. My next one that I'm eyeing is in Durban in June in 2025. Who knows, from there I might do a full one. I don't know. That's a bit daunting, but that's why I do these things. If you enjoy this, please like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Cheers.